Hey, what's up everyone? It's El Moody Foodie here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make my favorite thing to make in the kitchen, which is ice cream. I love experimenting with ice cream, doing a whole bunch of different stuff, and today I'm making my favorite. It's a keto butter pecan ice cream. So first things first, I'm gonna add about 3 full tablespoons of butter. Then I'm gonna add a cup of pecans, stir them well, make sure that that butter gets incorporated. And then I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of salt. It may seem like a lot of salt, but remember, salt just brings out the flavor. And if we're on the keto diet, we need that sodium anyways. So I'm gonna lower the heat and add 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, 1 cup of coconut milk, and 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla extract. We have half a cup of sugar. So I know what you're thinking, this is a keto recipe, so why use real sugar? Why not use an artificial sweetener? I don't like the way the artificial sweeteners taste, and I don't want my ice cream to be something that I'm constantly cheating every day on the keto diet with. It's something that I have about 3 times a week, so it helps me maintain my sugar numbers. Plus, this recipe is super high in fat, great in protein, and just a little bit of real sugar that we're using here. Then I'm gonna add 2 nice sized cinnamon sticks and about a tablespoon of fresh ground nutmeg. Make sure it's freshly ground. The difference is incredible. Now I'm gonna raise the heat to about 1/3 of the way, stir the ingredients really well, and let it steep for about 30 minutes. Make sure you keep an eye on it. You don't want it to bubble over. If it starts to boil on you, remove that top and mix that liquid around. Stir it real well, releasing some more heat until you see that the bubbles have subsided. So after that steeped for about 30 minutes, you see how beautifully brown the liquid has become. It's starting to get its color. Stir well. And we're gonna transfer this into a bowl that has a mesh strainer over it. We're gonna strain that liquid out. We're gonna keep all those pecans for later because we're gonna chop them up and add them into our ice cream. Now I have my 7 eggs in that small bowl that I just brought in, and I'm gonna start to temper the eggs. I'm gonna take about half a cup of the hot liquid and start pouring it over into my eggs, little by little, while I'm constantly stirring the eggs, and we get our eggs to come to heat without scrambling them. Now once those eggs have come to heat, you can pour the rest of it in the bowl, mix it all together, and then it's gonna go back on the stove. Now this is the part where you cannot move. You have to stand there. Tender love and care is the name of the game here, because you do not want to overcook this custard that's going to become our ice cream. Now back onto the pan at about medium heat, maybe a little bit lower, and what we're going to do is constantly stir to make sure that this custard doesn't get away from us, that it doesn't start to curdle up. You're going to be stirring for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now you can check to see if the custard's there by passing your finger through it, and if you get a nice thick line, it's about done. I test about 2 or 3 times. I don't like a thin line, I like a nice thick line. That was a little too thin for me, so I'm gonna go back and start stirring until I get a nice thick line, which is going to help make our ice cream even creamier. And there you have it. Look at that line, nice and thick. So now it's time to stop cooking. Make sure you take it off the heat, and we're gonna put it in a bowl that's on top of ice because we wanna stop the cooking process immediately. So you see I have another strainer there to catch any of the little bits of custard that I might have overcooked. Now make sure you get everything off the bottom of that pan because it is delicious, delicious gold. Every bit of that is worth saving. Now I'm gonna lift up the strainer and start working it to make sure that all that thick liquid starts coming through. Again, the thicker you make your custard, the creamier your ice cream's gonna be. So there you see in that fine mesh, I worked all the liquid out, and you can see some little bits of custard there. Now what you're gonna do while the custard is in the ice bath is start to stir, 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 and release all that heat that's in there so we can stop the cooking process immediately. You're gonna pour the custard into an airtight container. Again, make sure you get as much of it as you can. Every piece is worth saving. So now we're gonna take some plastic wrap and push it down over our custard to make sure that there are no air pockets there, so that when we pull it from the refrigerator later, you don't have a gross film on top. It's time to put a lid on it and let it sit for 4 to 8 hours. If it can sit overnight, even better. Now, dump your pecans on a cutting board. As you see here, I forgot to use a spice bag for my cinnamon, so I'm having to pick it out by hand. Either A, don't break up your cinnamon sticks, or B, put them in a spice bag. Now we're gonna start chopping up the pecans. I don't like them super small. I like them chunky so that when I'm eating my ice cream, I have something to chew on. It's like finding a golden nugget. So after it's been sitting in the refrigerator for about 8 hours or overnight, put your ice cream maker together, drop the ice cream in there. Now with this ice cream maker, I always use the gelato setting. I like the nice thick creaminess of the gelato setting. Set it to go, and in about 15 minutes, our ice cream is gonna be ready. There you see it churning, you see that beautiful color. You see how creamy and thick it is. It's hypnotizing, something I could watch all day. And when you stop it and pull the ice cream up from the ice cream maker, you're gonna see that it's stuck to the plastic piece. Just start working it off with a spoon onto an airtight container. Again, make sure you get every inch of that. Check out how creamy it is, how it just falls onto itself when it comes off the plastic piece. Now take a spoon and work around the edges of the ice cream bucket to make sure that you get all the bits that are left in there. But be careful not to scrape that bucket up. Now I'm gonna take 3 squares of Ghirardelli chocolate and break them up into small pieces. And then take my pecans, dump them into the ice cream, take my chocolate, dump them into the ice cream, and start working it with a spoon. Now you could do this while the ice cream machine is churning, but I like to do it by hand to make sure that everything is well incorporated throughout the entire ice cream, and not just little pockets here and little pockets there when you go to serve the ice cream. Again, look how creamy and delicious it is. So there you have it. We're gonna put it in the freezer for at least 4 hours until it hardens. Now before you serve this ice cream, you wanna take it out of the refrigerator about 15 minutes before you go to serve it. Not only does it make it easier to scoop out of the container, but it also brings back to life that creamy thickness of homemade ice cream.